Hello, this is Tyler Fraser on behalf of In the Light Urns, showing you how to fill cremation jewelry and keepsakes. Cremains will generally come to you in a plastic bag with an ID coin that identifies the cremains. If you're going to separate the cremains into several keepsakes, you have two options. The first option is to see if your funeral home will provide this service, and your second option is to do it yourself. You may want to designate one family member to fill several keepsakes at one time. The keepsakes we'll be filling today are the Celtic Heart keepsake, the Azure Blue keepsake, the Teardrop keepsake, the Pastel Pearls keepsake, the Puffed Heart keepsake, and the Cylinder Pendant keepsake. For demonstration purposes, we'll be using sand. We'll go ahead and start with the Celtic Heart keepsake. Go ahead and unscrew the bottom. And it's important to be sure that cremains will flow through your funnel, so you may have to cut it and widen the opening. And just go ahead and put a little in and be sure that they will actually flow through. The sand is struggling. And there we go. Okay, so you go ahead and put it in there, and you can see it flowing through the clear funnel. And you be sure that it's coming through. Okay. Go ahead and screw the top back on. And with the super glue, you'll go ahead and put a dab in the back, just so that it secures the glass to the metal, because it's important to keep this secure. We'll move on to the Azure Blue. This is also a screw top. Go ahead and do the same. Get a bit of a jiggle and be sure to be working over your bag of cremains. Okay. We'll go ahead and put the cap on. And this is important to note that the shape of the keepsake needs to lay right when you're wearing it. So be sure to open it so that it will so that it will lay flat when worn, and then go ahead and distinguish a front and a back and put a dab of glue in the back. We'll move on to the Teardrop keepsake, and this is a plug. There's your opening, and you go ahead and make sure your cremains are flowing. It's important to be working over your bag of cremains. Go ahead and put the plug back in and put a drop of glue where the metal and the wood come together on the back side. Next, we'll go ahead and fill the Pastel Pearls Rosary keepsake. This is a smaller keepsake, and it may be more difficult to fill. You can see the size of the opening is quite small. Be sure your cremains are flowing. Go ahead and secure the connection. And you have cremains in there now. And actually, it's a plug screw, so you're going to have to be sure that you don't put too much in and that there are no cremains in the threads of the screw. One mistake that many people make is put glue inside the threads and try and screw into the glue. It may be possible to put a little bit of glue just before you close it and then close it in, but beware that you could ruin your keepsake by putting glue on your threads. So you figure out the way that you'd like your keepsake to lay on a neck, as a necklace, and you choose a back and go ahead and put a dab of glue right where those come together. We'll move on to the Puffed Heart keepsake, and this is also a fairly small opening. Be sure that your cremains will flow through your funnel make a good connection and go ahead and jiggle the cremains in. And okay, we have a bit too much cremains. Alright. And again, you need to be sure that it lays properly and that you do not put glue in the threads of the keepsake. And finally, we'll do our cylinder pendant keepsake. And this has a generous size space which fits the funnel nicely. And again, you should be able to see the cremains flowing through the funnel. Alright. And with this, it's important to not put glue on the threads, but you may want to leave it open a bit, put your glue inside at the very end and close into it. Again, this is very important to not have the glue dry so that you can't close your keepsake. I hope you've learned something during this demonstration. Thank you for watching.